Hello guys, my name is Amit Sani and I welcome you in this Daily Hindu analysis. In the morning these videos come, in the evening the MCQ videos they come. And this is the time when you are preparing for the mains examination and for the new aspirants also. This is a very specific phase where the proper level would be achieved because of these helps of articles, various opinions and expert suggestions and important scrutiny and criticism. Everything is there in these articles, and these are the best support systems in the UPSC preparation. And if you are missing those things, then forget about UPSC first of all. Second thing, these MCQs that we are taking every day in the evening, that lesson for you follow religiously, and the details are crucial there. And this is the way you are here daily for around 1.5 hour, and this is an important part of your preparation. And for a regular preparation, for a consistent effort, this is also making a right habit for you. So that's important thing. And 9th of July it is. Pocket News app is launched, trending on number 1. Download it. Important courses, affordable courses by StudyIQ, made by top faculties. You can access them. Description is given below the video, and you can call on these numbers. You can visit the website also. Chat section is also available there, and PDF you will get here. The Telegram's link is also given there, and you can follow me on Instagram too. This is the Telegram channel's link. And regarding the StudyIQ channel, we all know about that, and all the important details where you are getting there. After many days, this is quote for you people. You see, happy phase and a favorable phase and achievement successful phase always runs fast, and you do not get a glimpse of that, and you do not know when it is all past. And then comes the phase of hard luck, or maybe a struggle, maybe a ignorance phase, insulting phase, and unjustified phase in a life, you may say. So always be prepared for that painful situation, because this is a cycle. It will change always. So when we are getting ready for that particular phase, for that struggleful situation, then one hope you should always keep there. And this is some kind of a phase where a lot of struggle is there, uncertainty is there for you. So always remember, nothing stays forever, not even your bad luck. For the good luck also it is applied, but during that good luck phase, nobody complains, but everyone complains during the bad luck, and they think that things are not in my favor. So nothing stays forever, not even your bad luck. So that's the biggest psychological boost you may give to yourself. These are the words that I found today. And now about the articles. Two important articles are totally related, and we will club them. This is reinforcing caste hierarchies, and it is regarding the Maratha quota, which has been given again, and repeatedly courts had struck down it. But again, due to political reasons, Maharashtra government is giving this, and they are included in the socially, educationally and backward communities. So this article totally relatable with the next article, that is importance of democratic education. Both things are relatable with the politics. And why this is important? Because politics is having the final authority there. What will be applicable in this country, what kind of decision would be there, what kind of recommendations would be applicable, we will accept them or not, what kind of education policy would be there, what kind of environment would be there, what kind of economy, I'm very sorry. What kind of economy would be there? What kind of environment would be there? Employment situation, what is going to be? Skill development, what it is going to be? Everything is decided by the political class and the political party today. So that's why democracy becomes much more important, and the related issue is the society. And there in the society there are castes, and when there are castes, then there is the issue of reservation. That should have ended long time back. It was given for just 10 years, but the main aim that was not solved there. What was that? That end this caste system. For thousands of years we have been learning, and in our ancient systems these kind of pollutions, social pollutions, religious pollutions were not there. But they became apparent after some centuries, because people were not that much struggling, they were not applying their minds, they were not being logical, and they started following things blindly, and a lot of changes kept coming, and things became totally unjustified, and our society was divided. And because of that, a lot of struggle and a lot of injustice was there with some communities, and that was historical for thousands of years. They were doing those menial jobs, and they were discarded from the society, and that's why it became very necessary to bring this positive discrimination thing in our constitution. And when constitution became a reality, then it was a phase that we had to choose one priority, that whether we take revenges and we talk to those people or talk to those groups which created some problems, and how to revive our religions, our important history there, and how to make identities and all. And there was another way, that bring a constitution, the best constitution in the world, and bring the best laws here, bring the best people on the job, and go towards a progressive phase and a progressive society and a progressive nation. So second option was taken as a priority there, and many challenges were there. Even taking this country forward was very, very impossible, but they made it anyhow. And we have reached up to a phase where challenges still remains, inequality is rising, and caste still persists, and the negativities which created a lot of problems in our society, those are again towards a upsurge. Atrocities on Dalits, they are rising, and the condition of the Dalit social situation is nowhere appreciable today, and it is worsening in those areas where poverty is already there. They are sidelined from the society. They were doing some menial jobs, and many restrictions are also there on those jobs and all, like after this cow vigilantism case. So a lot of things are against them. So there are justified cases all over this country, but you see the narrative that has been created, that these groups who have got reservation and all, and with this help, non-meritorious people and undeserving people, they have got a lot of position, power, money, and they are creating havoc, and we are losing everything here. We were the higher castes and all, but still we are at in a way we are at margin today, and nothing is possible for us. So first this economic criteria reservation that came, and now Marathas are given again this particular reservation. But the issue is that this is real, that some sections and some number of people, and that's actually a minuscule minority, I must say, who were in the reserved categories, and they have got some positions. They are big officers now, and their conditions are very much improved in the monetary sense and all these things. That's a reality. But it's also a bigger reality that a majority of those people, they are still bearing all those social burdens there, and a totally outcast life they are living in ghettos, and conditions of employment, conditions of lifestyles, those things are still the same, and maybe worse. Today, till 70 years of our freedom, of our post-independence phase, somehow things improved with those sections due to that reservation phenomena, and everyone accepts that, all across all the parties and all people, they accept this thing, and that's why it is continuing till now. Otherwise, it would not have been there. But the aim is not achieved. It was just for 10 years, and it is continuing. But now what is happening? A lot of changes are there, and inequality, as I told you, is a main reason there, and poverty still persists. So due to the struggle because of this poverty, people are making different definitions there, and economy is going through a structural phase. Agrarian crisis is the bigger reality today, and the land owning cost, mainly these Jats in Haryana, Patels in Gujarat, Marathas in Maharashtra, Kapus in Andhra Pradesh, these caste groups, they were major land owning castes and forward castes they were considered to be, because people were there in politics, people were there in judiciary, people were there in the administration there, and they had supports, and they have had some rich phases in the near history. So that's why these were called as forward castes, because according to the Varna system, there is no evidence, there is no justification that which one is best one, which one is just a better one, and which one is at the margin. You cannot decide about that, but you can decide about backwardness issue. And backwardness itself is a colonial relic, as the writer says, and we are not very much clear about this phenomena. And they say that today it's a phase due to many struggles. Things are becoming worsened in the society. When things become problematic, economic constraints are there, then people become aggressive. And when there is aggression, then it can easily be channeled. And political parties are very smart in channeling this energy. What they have done, they have actually got many tools like social media and the mainstream media today. They have very easy shortcuts there and very nice tools there, and so handy these things are for the political classes, that they can turn any protest into a kind of struggle, a kind of failure, and a different narrative altogether they can make there. The way these people demanded reservation there, actual struggle, actual rallying and actual demand would have been for agricultural advancement, should have been agricultural advancement, and they should have demanded for more jobs instead of Arakshan, and they should have demanded important reforms in our economy and in our agriculture system, because these are the mainly land owning castes, so they need a better agriculture scenario there. And if that is better, then certainly they would need lesser jobs, because they have declined government jobs in the past also, saying that we are not there to work as laborers or the servants there. We are landowners, and we are forward people, and we do not need these kind of supports, and we are far better than those things, and we want to remain in better environment in our villages. And that's the thing, and this is for sure in many reports. This was mentioned there. After independence, this phase was there. So some of people in these castes, they declined these jobs at that time because they were far better off, and during the phase of green revolution they got many advantages there. So if today agriculture is like the western countries, if it becomes better and it gives nice remuneration, then these people will not demand jobs. But today they are demanding Arakshan instead of those technological advancement in the agriculture, support in the agriculture, their prices, their issues and structural reforms there. And they should have given force for these government's right steps, but their energies are misused, they are mischanneled. And how? Through this media. That's the case. And very nicely they are dividing these caste groups and important categories, and now they have started fighting with each other every time when there are protests. All kinds of narratives which we have seen. These are like the people who are in this reservation system. They have taken all your jobs, they have taken all your shares and all, and nothing is left for you people. So these kind of things are for real, and it is youth who is manipulated in this way, brainwashed in this way by the political class, and it is very easy. Why? Because this aggression would unite them in a particular identity, whether you are Marathas, whether you are Jat, whether you are Patels, or whether you are Hindus, whether you are Muslims, whether you are Dalits. So this is the identity politics. They will all come together with this particular name, and they will vote for a particular party who will become a subscriber of those caste groups or category groups. So that's a very easy thing for the political class. Otherwise, giving governance to the country, giving right proper way to manage the systems, economy, agriculture, manufacturing, everything, that's a very difficult goal. But it's a very easy goal to divide these people and rule. So divide and rule, this is properly happening in this country. And many issues are there, and that's why Arakshan did not end till now. And many issues are still there. And main reason was the caste. Caste is not ended because people are the culprits. In the next article, this thing is evidently seen that there is something seriously wrong with our thinking, that we are not out of these particular phenomena, and we are very much submissive. We will declare somebody as a hero, and we will submit everything, our thoughts, our logics, everything we will take in our hand, and we will submit to those people. which we declared as heroes and who are thrashing some other. It's like a dangle that we are observing, that somebody is a very powerful and somebody is very weak, and the powerful is throwing that weak in all the corners of that particular stadium, and people are chanting, clapping, everything, and they will declare that person a hero, and everything is justified for that hero. So in the same way, politics is moving on in this country, and this thing is ingrained in our psychology, that we declared heroes and we submit everything to them. And whatever agendas they would try to run on these people, whatever they would say to these people, whatever motives they will set as narrative in the society, people will blindly follow that. So that's a problem. And in these problems, we are caught here. And society is divided, people are fighting with each other, and they are not going for right reasons and right demands. Instead of that, they are just releasing aggression against each other and spreading those important messages on WhatsApps and those videos where somebody says that uski dhajia uda di, usko uda diya, usko thrash kar diya, somebody has mocked that person and trolled. Everything is there, everything is justified in these cases. So these are the backgrounds, and staying with all these realities, the data shows us the difference between the claims and the demands and those realities. They are discussing that if we go with the data, then Marathas in the case of Maharashtra, who are given again this reservation instead of it getting struck down by courts again and again, but thrice in last 5 years, they are giving it back to them. And if we compare it with Maharashtra Brahmins, then there is a very little difference between Marathas and Brahmins condition. Their per capita consumption expenditure for sure is less than Brahmins, a little less than Brahmins. And next, poverty in the issue of poverty is not increased actually, although the land holding is no more there like that it was before, because a lot of fragmentation has happened, and because of the population pressure and many generations they have come, so it's a fragmentation of the land. But in the case of poverty, they are well off if we compare the situation with the OBCs and the SC/STs. So that's the case. And near to Brahmins. Next, access to electricity, the basic services compared to SC/STs, way better. They have greater access. They have greater access to flush toilets and all in these basic things. Average years of education for Marathas is 6.58, which is lower than the Brahmins by 2.18 years and 1.22 years more than the OBCs. And 13 percentage points less likely to have completed 12 years of education as compared to Brahmins. So in this case of education, some difference is there between Brahmins and Marathas, but they are way better than the OBCs and the SC/STs. So in any case, they are not equal to these OBCs terms and SC/ST situations, and more they are like Brahmins in the Maharashtra, because if you talk about the employment data, then they are better off than all other social groups and significantly near to Brahmins condition. Even before getting included in the quota, access of Marathas to government jobs already similar to Brahmins and higher than of OBCs and SC/STs. And regarding this issue, we had read an article that for OBCs mainly, the representation in the associate professor category and the professor category, just 1.22 and 1.18% was the representation. So they need a lot of seats there for some maintenance of the equality, because it is not like that these people are not meritorious, but other constraints, social constraints since their starting of the education or the life, many struggles they face, discrimination for sure these groups face who are under the reserved categories, if we compare their situation with the forward caste or the Brahmins and all. So that's the situation. And the issue of confidence is a huge factor that is reported in many reports, and that's why Supreme Court always struck down their demands, like for Jats in Haryana, Patits in Gujarat, Kapus in Andhra Pradesh, and Marathas in Maharashtra. So these data show us that this is not that much a huge problem which they are claiming, but the issue is that they have been forward always in many cases, like in land holding, that was the biggest criteria in the past. In politics, in administration, many officers are there, government jobs everywhere, so they had supports, so their confidence level is totally visible. And as I told you, in many cases when these demands were there, They even propagated on social media that it is our zid, it is not our demand. In the case of Haryana also, this message was spread so many times. So that's why Supreme Court also recognized this thing again and again, that this is not the real situation, and that's why they struck it down again and again. But their confidence is totally visible that they can get united. If you compare a rally of the scheduled caste population or all these untouchables and all, and if you compare the situation with the Marathas rally, then this rally, Maratha rally, is a much more confident rally, because these people are much more aware than those people, much more knowledgeable politically, and they are aware in all the directions and all. So that's why this thing is very much effective for these people, and that's why it creates a lot of political pressure, and that's why it is given 3 times in last 5 years. So that's the big reason. So the writer says that it is actually, in a present case, although it's a very complex system, and we all know Arakshan is continuing, but the situation of jobs, nobody is talking about that. These groups are not talking about that. What about the jobs? They are consistently putting these PSUs on sale. The BSNL is about to be closed now. Air India, everything, all the major public employments, they are ending with a very fast pace. So what is the meaning of this kind of violent demands, and where it is creating a huge negative impact on the society? This is dividing the people, and Arakshan is not taking their share. This is the lesser jobs and a changed economy, agrarian crisis. That is the main problem there. Why they are not focusing on those things, and why they are turning against each other. So that's the huge case. And this political pressure they can create, and this pressure can bring major solutions in the society. They say that no protest is there to end the caste system. Nowhere in this country we have seen the system which ends the caste system. Only in the Renaissance period we saw some important movements and all, and that also ended very soon. And today we are much more educated, we are much more capable, we have social media, we have media, we have all the technological advancement and all, but there is no move against caste. Why that is there? Until the time caste would be there, problems will still be there, always they will be there, because it's the worst kind of discrimination there. Until the time it will be there, Arakshan's demand will always be there. And the writer says that it is not a justified case for these caste groups, but they can put political pressure. That's why it's a possible thing for them. And maybe due to this trend, in the future, the reservation to these very much disadvantaged groups, those things may be snatched away. This is also a possibility, because they are not major game changers, and they are not that much dominant, and they cannot run those kind of campaigns there. But these forward caste groups, they can. And when after this much struggle and political pressure, if these are given these benefits, then this trend is really, really dangerous, because they can subscribe for any kind of demand now. So that's the case. So structural transformation in the Indian economy is the major reason, and not understanding those concepts, they are feeling increasingly vulnerable, because agrarian crisis is going on, and these are the landowning castes mainly. So analysis suggests that perceptions are exactly that feeling where they feel vulnerable, and they are citing Arakshan as a reason, and even their demand is that end this SC/ST act, which actually supports that if any kind of crime against SST is there, then non-bailable offences are there, and a person can be convicted there easily. So they also demand the end of that. So if that is going to end it, there would be no support left for the SC/STs, that is for sure, because in this country, in villages, maximum number of Indians, they live in villages, and in villages this is the harsh reality till date. So maximum number of SC/ST groups, they are the targets, and today these targets are increasing day by day. In these cow vigilantism case, we have seen in the dominance of over religiousness which is rising in this country. That's totally against the Dalit groups, that's for sure, because the social divisions are rising, and everyone is very much concerned about the castes and all, and the politics is happening on this basis. So in a way they are satisfying all these groups, but these caste identities and all these group of politics, categories politics and all, this is on a rise. So this thing will turn against these disadvantaged and the weaker groups. So for sure there will be many more problems, and they would need again a bigger number, a bigger percentage of the reservation there. So that is the case. So that's why we need to go in a right way. Otherwise, it's a very beautiful country and we will lose it for sure, because all the regions are there which are turning into difference, and which should have been diversity, but these things are turning into difference. And dominant groups, they must understand their confidence and their power. So they should adopt proper ways. It is not the way, it is proper political blackmailing, and they are able to do that. So that's why it's a very negative trend in the society. You suppose a thing when it is decided on their muscle power, then everyone will go for the muscle power in the future, and it will be a very troublesome phase for this country, because they are today relying on their aggression, and it will not lead to anywhere. Because even after world wars, you cannot settle something with aggression. You have to come to a particular table where you can peacefully debate. And the next article is also talking about the same thing. So all the explanation I have given you, and everything is applicable in that article also, where it says that our vote has no value today because we are not able to elect right people here. And the people who are very much mediocre politicians, they do not have a nice vision, no wisdom. So it creates a lot of question about our voting also, that this voting power which is given to everyone, what is the meaning if we cannot elect right people, and these divisive people, these mediocre people and very negative thinking having people, those people are reaching up to those levels which are deciding our fate, the country's fate, the country's trajectory. Then is it appropriate to give voting right to everyone? But this is again a wrong thing, because we cannot deprive every person of their voting right. It's a very major important goal that was achieved after independence. So we cannot do that. But it's a main issue that after independence, all these political parties, they are the major culprits who brought this situation today. That today the worst kind of politicians we have got here, and our voting power has no achievement. Why we cannot select right people? It is giving the example of cricket, that in the cricket team which we want a strong team, but that is not achieved. Why? Because that is achieved because these are selected by experts, the people who know about the cricket. It is not any kind of voting here which is choosing proper batsmen or the bowlers there in the team, and the team is not created by normal people, it is by experts. But how do we make every person expert in deciding this political fate? It is not possible, and it is even not possible with the education, because primary secondary education having people, or even the PhD scholars, today they are behaving in a very foolish way. They are not able to elect right people, and they are supporting those divisive arguments, their particular agendas which are set by these news media houses. They are engulfed into those arguments, and they are not understanding that what is the reason why these kind of negative arguments, religious argument, having a question mark in all the debates, why these kind of titles are there today, which are visible on social media and media. Why they are talking about Ali Bali today? They are not understanding, even the educated people, and they are justifying this argument that it is about the saving of the religion or something like that, and they are not understanding that whether it's a need of saving the religion or not. So the only solution is that we cannot abandon the democracy. We have to understand the democracy properly, and the best way is to bring democratic education here, and this education should be there. And the best way to bring this democratic education is to motivate the common good through conversation. This issue of conversation, the issue of dialogue, we should create here, because there is an issue of pleonexia. What is pleonexia? When one person becomes a hero, one party becomes a hero, and they need to, they just have unlimited needs, they have unlimited greeds, they want to grab everything around them, and they do not want to share anything with any other person, any other party, or any other power, and they do not recognize any other person's right there. Suppose a condition in the future where corporate houses, they suppose the condition of inequality, if they say that 99% of this India's wealth is with us because we have earned it, and only 1% is left for the normal people of this country, they will say that we have paid taxes and all, and it is all justified that we have achieved this much power, and it is not justified to say it a wrong thing. But it's clearly a wrong thing. 99% with some people and 1% with all the people. How it can be justified? They have denied their share. That is the case of pleonexia. It can be there with corrupt people, it can be there with corrupt politicians, and who are becoming richer and richer day by day by making people fool in this way. They are just decreasing these number of employment jobs, and public sector employment is declining day by day, and people are fighting in the name of Arakshan. People are totally divided today. So it's a divide and rule policy, and it is all going on. So it's a clear case of pleonexia, where some people are becoming so powerful and everything is there around them. And that is the case that these people are running towards some official with a bat, and they are saying that we will do anything. So everything they will decide that it's a proper law or not. They do not have any respect to the law-making bodies or any kind of system, any kind of way, any kind of court. They do not believe in that because they are so powerful today, and people are supporting these people. So that's why it's something wrong with us only, that we are supporting these kind of narratives, and we are behaving in such a foolish way that we are not recognizing that these people are running their politics. They are just creating all these things because we believe in these ways. We believe in heroism. We submit everything to the hero. We do not believe in equality. Our basic psychology is like that. And if this condition would be there, this pleonexia condition, and I gave you the example of 99%, this can be a very real thing in this country, because we will not raise question against that. We will fight with each other. These 1% people, all the people which are having this 1% share, they will fight with each other. They will fight with the name of caste, they will fight with the name of religion, they will fight with the name of categories, Arakshan, everything. Because these people who are having 99%, they are so smart. They have all the tools like media, social media, everything they have. They can run these agendas easily, they can divide people very easily. And these people will never understand. And here they are denying their share with this phenomena, pleonexia. Why? Because it is nowhere justified that 1% of people, they will have 99% of wealth. How they have done that? Where they should have earned 1 rupee profit, they are earning 10 rupee profit, and that is why this is happening. So this is clearly a theft of 9 rupees, and this is all allowed with this system where inequality persists. And why this is happening? Because there is a clear nexus. In the future, why this is happening? Because these political parties are supporting this inequality. They are giving everything to these corporate houses and all rich people. Today you see only 25% taxes they would have to pay. Earlier they were paying 30% taxes. It is there clearly in the budget, and all the support systems are there. All the mining leases, all the hydrocarbon exploration leases, all is there for the private sector now. All the airports are there for the private sector. Air India, BSNL, these are drowning. Why this is happening? Because these private houses will pay them in the elections. And can we complain about that? No, because we do not know who is paying them, who is paying how much amount to which party, because they have said no, that we will not reveal our election funding. So this is the clear case which is giving all the evidences that we are being fooled in this way. And why? Because there is no democratic education here. So we need to bring this democratic education. This is a crisis-like situation, and it's totally intellectual crisis, and this democratic education is a total failure. Simple education will not help. We need to learn this issue, and we have to believe in some things like mutual give and take, moderation in our debates, willingness, listening patiently to each other, having a commitment to continuing a conversation. Otherwise, this thing is totally impossible. And we need to understand that religion is not important here. What is important is the democratic education. Democracy is the improved version of a lifestyle, because our lives were totally dependent on religion in the past, and that's why we were so backward. And today we are progressive because this country was based on constitutional principles, but now they are being targeted, and these narratives are being raised that constitution must change and religion should be the most important thing instead of constitution. Openly these people are saying that. They are targeting Gandhi and they are calling them anti-national, something like that. And these things are happening. Why? Because there is no democratic education. We are choosing these kind of people. I know most of the people understand this thing, but they do not have any power, because these people are so powerful. We have given them so huge power that they are running these narratives so easily. So that's the case. Okay, and liberal arts education, these things can make this thing possible. But how many people learn about history? How many people learn about society? How many people study these subjects? This is important to read all these things, and democratic education we must bring back, otherwise it's totally an impossible goal. One more article regarding Africa. It is talking about the new 12th Extraordinary Summit for African Union that was in Niamey, that's the capital of Niger, where we have also supported with $15 million to African Union for that, and they are creating new AFCFTA, African Continent Free Trade Agreement. This is going to bring enormous opportunities for us, although some challenges may be there. You see, historically what has happened in Africa, this was a colony, and many European countries, they created many colonies there, and they ended all the linkages between African countries, and they established all the linkages with their parent countries. So African countries, they have very less internal trade. They have trades with other outside countries, outside their continent. So it's a huge need of this AFCFTA. If this thing become possible, then nothing can be better than that, because till 2050 the maximum population will rise in the sub-Saharan Africa. So they have enormous opportunities, and it would be the world's largest free trade agreement, and 1.2 billion people are there today. There will be 2 billion people by 2050. So enormous opportunity, but political, organizational and logistical challenges are there. They are fighting with underdevelopment, Islamic terrorism, Arab Spring, decolonization. Still they are fighting with these things. But if they can overcome these things, and if they can bring this economic union, then it can be a great thing, because it will reverse the globalization trend also. The conservative trend also, which is anti-globalization, and this move would be towards globalization, and that is something that we are also betting for. So we are welcoming this move, and today Africa accounting for only 3% of the global trade, and this way they can improve a lot, and we can have great opportunities there, because they want Indian affinity there. They welcome Indians there. They welcome Indian entrepreneurs there instead of Chinese, because China wants its dominance there, but we want cooperation there. We have cultural linkages there. We have a lot of similarities there. Poverty conditions, health challenges, they are very similar. So it's a great opportunity for us. And with efficient planning, which was lacking in the past, today they can bring vigorous reforms there, and that can change African life there. And we also have great opportunities there. Today they are dependent on Indian goods. They want bigger trade. That's why in this lull phase of the world trade growth, our trade with Africa is rising. With Nigeria, it rose to 33% last year. So we have enormous opportunity, and Africa still has unfulfilled demand for Indian commodities. So in principle, African economy is becoming more formalized and transparent would be in India's interest. So we are the better stakeholders there. And the first thing that we have supported this particular meeting. Next step, we should prepare a requisite architecture there and proper policies. And the very next big step we need to take, that is the India-Africa Free Trade Agreement. Anyhow, we made this. We have to make this possible, and that would be the best thing to be possible in the future. So rest of the things we will take tomorrow, and the facts are very less today. So in the PDF, all these things are given, and rest of the things we will talk tomorrow. And please come for the evening MCQ lesson. Thanks a lot. Keep watching it.